I said what I said today on the morning show, and I don't take anything back. Welcome to the breakdown, episode 544. Actually, this is episode 545. That's fucked up. God damn it. Damn. Anyway, I'm going to say it's episode 545, sponsored by Gemini. Trade $1,000 in crypto and get $100 in Bitcoin. Who wouldn't want $100 in Bitcoin? Also powered by the Gakshi News Network. Shout out to the Gakshi News Network. Check out all the personalities that are on the network. That's right. We have more coming on. We're doing big things. Stay tuned. Follow us. Follow the Gakshi Media account. Follow the Gakshi Media account because all they do is fucking troll me. It's the craziest shit I ever seen. Even my own accounts be trolling. That's wild. That's wild. Yes, you can sign up to Gemini today. If you haven't signed up to Gemini, you can sign up today. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin. Let's fucking go. America's exchange. America. America. Pushing P. That's funny. That's funny. Haha. That's funny. That's funny. Anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you very much for tuning in. Honestly, there was obviously I have the morning show, Crypto Talk Radio, where we talk about, we try to talk about crypto. And at the end, as I'm trying to end the show, right, we have great people stop by, great people, Jules came in, he wanted to, there's a lot of people stop by to go ahead and chat. And I don't know, some dude came out of nowhere. I don't know who he was. And like I'm trying to keep it professional. I really am. I'm really trying to keep it professional. But the dude starts talking about the United States of America. Okay? He starts talking about, oh, inflation's gonna go up. Oh, this, that, and the third. Shut up. Okay? Shut up before we make France the 51st, actually the 54th state of the United States of America. Okay? And don't deny the fact that people in France eat pigeons. Okay? Don't make me showcase it on this show that people in France eat pigeons. It is on the menu. It is on the goddamn menu. It's a delicatessen for you guys. That's weird. That's fucking weird. You're eating goddamn pigeons. Anyway, what went into effect today, also, we will talk about it. China, they got 104% tariff on that ass. Let's go. God bless America. America, God bless America. America first. I know that you want your crypto to come first. Crypto will be okay. Relax and calm down. Why do I got this curl like Superman going right now? But relax. It'll be fine. We need to do this. We need to restructure in order to make sure that the United States of America becomes great again. That's really it. If you are an American, you are proud today. You are proud that your president is standing on business. Okay? And the president also has done a lot for crypto as well. News that has not been talked about, like the DOJ, no longer will have a unit that goes after crypto. We didn't get to talk about that on the morning show because Andrew from Pork felt like coming in yesterday. This is how bad this space is. This is how bad this space is. Yesterday, I had a bunch of people come on to the radio show, Crypto Talk Radio. They came on and they were talking about the bear market. We're done. See you in 2028. Today, Andrew from Pork, he comes on and he's like, oh my God, bullish. I am so bullish. The markets are back. We are so back. He's like, he made 100 plus soul. We are back, baby. He goes, he said the trenches saved the bull run. That's right. He said the trenches saved the bull run. The trenches saved the bull run. By the way, I guess breaking news, S&P 500 slips into the red, wiping out the gain that we had of 4% today. So there you go. Gains wiped off. Obviously, the tariff news scares the shit out of everybody. There it goes. That's why I said I'm not getting too excited. I said this on the show. I'm not getting too excited. I'm not going to get excited. I will not get excited. I'm waiting. I am waiting. Hold on one second. I just got to see something, man. I got to see something. I got to see if somebody's... Man, I really did. Look, I love French people. I just want to make it clear. I love French people. But sometimes shit needs to be said. You can't come onto my radio show and start talking shit like that. That's wild shit. Anyway, there's a lot of fucking news. There is a lot of news to go ahead and talk about. Okay? There's a lot of fucking news to talk about right now. Hold on. I just gotta get somebody in here, man. God damn it, man. Why does it take so long? Why does it take so long to get? You know what? I'm just gonna use it. This. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. Just 1 second, man. It's fucking windy outside. What the fuck's going on man? All right. All right, let me go ahead and put it back here. Okay. There we go. We're back. That's right. I am a Giga Chad. That's right. I am a Giga Chad. But anyway, a lot of news to go ahead and break down. We'll bring on Hotep Jesus right now to go ahead and discuss. We'll also discuss France. I think I want to talk about France a little bit. I think the French people that try to attack me today on the radio show, they're asking for this. Okay? I had no beef with you. I didn't want to bring up World War II where you waved the white flag. I didn't want to bring up all that stuff. I didn't want to bring up that my grandfathers saved you. Okay? I didn't want to bring that up. I wasn't going to bring that up, but now I am. Okay? You to deny that the French don't eat pigeons is crazy. How is anybody denying this? I'm going to look. Hold on. I got to look this up. I got to validate my point. Hold on. Validation's coming. Hold on. We are going to validate the point that the French eat pigeons. Okay. Hold on. Look at this shit. This is disgusting. Look, if you fucking search this on YouTube, put in French eat pigeon, Paris food tour, where to eat pigeons and cheap eat next to whatever. I don't even know what the fuck this woman's trying to say or shit. Look at this. They have a whole thing on pigeons. They have an entire thing on YouTube about how the French eat pigeons. Yo, this kid comes back onto the radio show tomorrow. It is on, bro. It is on. How dare you trying to test my history? Welcome, Hotep.
Yo, we live. Yo.
We're live. We just go live.
Man?
Fuck it. We go live.
Yes, sir. We here, baby. Trump tariffs is in effect. We kicking asses all across the globe. What's up, chat?
Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know this legend, delete your account immediately and get the fuck off my show.
ASAP.
You know what I'm saying? Yo, what's going on? How's everything, man?
Life is absolutely amazing in the world of Hotepistan. Great to be here. Enjoying my time here with G Media, Goxteen Media. Shout out to Leslie. Thank you for being such a great hostess for me. The Friday shows are so much fun. It gives me something to do on Friday night. Keeps me nice and sharp. I am ready, and I have never felt better.
I'm like, I want to say I'm truly fucking happy for you, man. You're killing it out there. Honestly, on the real.
Thank you.
So shout out to Hotep. Tune into him. You better, I say this every single day. You better, number one, a lot of you guys need it. Like I say this over and over. Apex, you guys need it 100% in your lives. There you go. You definitely need it, especially the way you come onto the radio shows and onto the chats here, and you illustrate your points. I can definitely tell that you got low T. So there you go. You guys can save some money, $24. I said 24% a few weeks back, but it's $24 that can be saved by using the G Media code, and we're getting nothing from it.
That is expired.
Then you can't say
we sold out. We sold out of that coupon.
Then you can't get shit no more. Too bad.
Too bad. I'm gonna make a different code. HJX 15%. The G Media coupon sold out in like a week, so there was that was a success.
I know people told me though that they bought Apex and it's changed their lives. I feel like this is an infomercial now, but it's changed their lives.
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
They were about to get divorced, and their wives, still stayed with them afterwards. You've done a lot. You kept marriages together with this product. So
it's so great that when you're done with it, your wife is going to ask you to bring another woman in the bedroom.
I'm going to retweet this so everybody knows that we are joined here today. There's so much news coming out right now.
Yes, it is.
I'm gonna hit you with all this stuff.
Okay.
I want to get your thoughts. I know I got limited time here with you. You know what? Fuck it. Let's get it going.
Let's go.
Somebody on our end from the G Media crew and the news team can go ahead and retweet it for me. All right. The Trump tariffs on I was about to say Japan, but China just hit 104% tariff on China. What's up? What do you feel about this situation? Can you break it down for me?
This is Trump's most difficult fight ever. I mean, next to the bullet that grazed his ear, this is the biggest fight he's ever. I mean, this is. I'm going to show you how dedicated China is to this war. We know the Dixie is down, right? So what did China do with these tariffs? China literally, and I spoke about this before when I said the Marshall Lerner principle. With the Marshall Lerner principle, you try to, decrease the value of your currency, right? Yeah. To make goods cheaper overseas. China's like, oh, you're not finna make your goods cheaper overseas. We're going to keep our currency pegged to yours, and they decrease theirs. There's a new article that came out today that says China's currency is down, and people are like celebrating. I'm like, yo, that don't mean what you think it mean. This is a currency war, a economic war, a trade war we are in the middle of. And for China to just devalue their currency just to keep it on par with the US dollar shows how dedicated Xi Jinping is to this whole mess. So, this is his biggest fight. Everybody has capitulated. Everybody else, Japan, Taiwan, the European Union, everybody else wants South Korea. Everybody else wants to come to the table, but China's going to be a big fight. Hopefully, we get some bargaining power with TikTok. We're supposed to be snatching TikTok any day now. April 15th, we're gonna get Thomas Sowell, a Thomas Sowell interview released. I can't wait to see that and see what his thoughts are. But this is Trump's toughest fight yet.
Do you think he wins? Honestly, thinking about it, having time to marinate, do you think he wins this?
Ultimately, yes. But winning, it's see, there's different types of wins, right? You got winning by a large margin and you got just squeaking it out, right? So does he win? Yeah, but is it a squeaker or is it a blowout? That's the question that we're looking for here. So, that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for, is it a squeaker or is it a blowout? I'm looking for a blowout, but it looks like if we do win, it's going to be a squeaker.
What's your time frame? Obviously, I'm not going to hold you to it. What's the time frame you think? Because the midterm elections are coming. He can't play around. We've been in fucking super speed mode since he's got into office. What, 11, 12 weeks in? I don't think anybody. I haven't expect. I've never seen this speed. Like, he's running. He is running. This administration's running. They don't have time. They do not have time,
Summer.
because if they let this linger on and people continue to lose money in their 401ks and stuff like that, I'm just keeping it 100. They'll start saying, like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
When is this coming to an end? And once they start doing that, who comes around. It's the Democrats. We can come and save you. We can come and save you. Just look over here.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of moving parts. ECB's talking about cutting interest rates.
Yeah.
We got earnings. Earnings is coming around, right? So, that could affect a lot of decision making in the White House, for various reasons. I say summertime. We got to give it till summertime, June. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle. There's a lot of things that's gonna get sorted out, but the thing is, China has a huge bargaining chip, man. A lot of things are manufactured in China. At one point, 90% of the goods in Walmart was manufactured by China. So, it's a manufacturing powerhouse, and they got a bargaining chips. We got bargaining chips. We're gonna have to wait and see, but I say, prepare for summertime.
But wouldn't it hurt them to continue to keep going? China's part.
Yes.
And I'm not just saying that as an American. I'm just saying in general, wouldn't it hurt them? And by the way, it sucks that not we, but the people that we have elected in just completely did this. Like, they set this up decades ago for us to be in this position. But it's going to hurt China. I mean, like, it has to be. Apple's talking about moving their stuff to India. Like, at some point, it has to be hurting them to the point where they say, you know what, let us come to the table. Let us come and negotiate something. And why is it? And this will lead me into a different question. But go ahead and answer that one first, and then I'll ask you the next question I have.
This wouldn't be the first time a communist nation hurt its own people to get a point across.
That's true.
So, communists don't give two shits. And the thing is about a communist nation like China is they get to make up rules as they go along. They don't have to care about markets. They can create manufacturing. They can create a surplus of manufacturing, a surplus. They got a whole city ain't nobody living in. They don't give a damn, it seems like, right? So they'll launch projects, kill projects. I think something like 90% of their corporate entities are CCP. So, it's really hard to compare them to the United States because we're a little bit more free market than them. But, they'll use corporatism in a political sense much faster than we will.
Why are tariffs good? So other countries can come out with tariffs, but the United States comes out with tariffs, and that's bad. Why? Why isn't the United States of America allowed to participate in the free markets?
Well, let's be honest. Tariffs are bad all around, right?
Correct.
But in this sense, people are criticizing Trump for levying tariffs, but these are reciprocal tariffs.
Right.
He's clapping back. He's saying, "Look, y'all taxing me. Why are we not taxing you back?" And the truth of the matter is, especially many of these smaller economies, they are dependent on us. So if and the other thing you have to remember is a lot of the goods that we're buying from them are luxury goods. They're not necessity goods. They're luxury goods. So like Nike, it's a luxury good. Okay, it's a luxury good. We can get shoes from anywhere in the world. We can manufacture shoes. We could just not wear shoes. Okay, so shoes are a luxury. Bottom line. Okay, um, so these economies, if Americans are not buying, they're going to hurt more than we will.
My
So
my my thing. I like that you said luxury goods. It's not a necessity. It's
yeah,
a luxury, as you put it. And my biggest gripe with this whole thing is like everybody's allowed to take all of America's resources. America's the biggest buyer of all this shit, right? All this
yes,
shit that all these countries sent to, we're the biggest buyer. At
right,
what point do we say like we can't keep on taxing people in the United States of America? We need to generate real revenue, like a real business, right? You can't tax your employees, right?
yeah.
You can't keep on just your business is failing. You can't go to and start taxing your employees. You got to start making revenue. Otherwise, this business goes bankrupt. I don't
Yeah,
understand what the fucking problem is. Whether you're a Democrat or Republican, you got to see that we're not bringing in revenue. We
it's
got a what is it, 36, 37 trillion dollar deficit?
yeah,
Like
something like that.
you
Yeah,
the CCP is playing tapes of Reagan talking about tariffs are bad. Yeah, that's from decades ago. He didn't have a $36 trillion deficit sitting on his hands, man. I think he would be singing a different song today.
well, many of people's opinions are politically motivated. They're not practical. I have no dog in the fight. Okay, I didn't vote. I don't vote.
Okay.
Sorry to hear if I offended anybody, but I don't vote. I vote with my dollars. I bought a MAGA hat. That's my vote. Okay. Um, the fact of the matter is, United States is at a trade deficit. So any nation, if played Civilization or any one of these games about city building, nation building, if you're at a trade deficit, that means you're bringing in way more than you export. I mean, well, way more than you're importing more than you export. So
Correct.
what are you supposed to do? Well, there's two options. One, you could limit the amount of imports. The other option is increase exports. And Trump's doing both with one move. With the tariffs, he's limiting the amount of imports. And countries like Taiwan and others are saying we're going to invest in production and manufacturing in the United States. So we're increasing production, we're increasing GDP potentially over the long run. So I think the tariffs from that perspective are a good short term move. I mean, the fact that everybody wants to come to the table in just a short week shows you that this is a great short term tactic. Thomas Sowell says if it's a long term tactic, it could lead into a global recession. I don't think this
Yeah.
is the thing is this. It's not going to be a long term thing because Trump is egotistic and egotistic people are great people because that means they care about how they look into the public. So if this thing turns into something bad, Trump will relent. Like, all right, hold on, all right, I've been wilding a little bit too much. Let's let up, and you know. So I don't see this as being a long term tactic. This is going to be a short term thing. Get everybody to the table. The only thing that could be long term, like I said, probably moving into the summer, is probably going to be Xi Jinping in China, and see how that thing works out.
But ultimately, like as in the beginning of this conversation, you believe that China goes ahead and submits, but it's not going to be. You don't believe it's going to be like a slam dunk. It'll be
It's going to be a shake hands deal.
yeah.
You get this, we get that. We get TikTok, you get I don't know, whatever. Um, but yeah, it's going to be some serious negotiations,
Okay.
and I like to be optimistic. and believe that we can come to a deal with China, and it may take the help of other countries too. In the negotiations, sometimes other parties play a factor, right? Like if we can convince Europe to do something with China, if we can convince India to do something with China, that could, convince Brazil or whoever, right? So there's a lot of different things that could go into this that are, so many factors that we're not seeing that could come into the play in the future. And we just got to put our trust in our president and see what he's got.
Trump made mention of not only the $1 trillion, discrepancy between China and America in terms of making money and revenue, um, but he was like, they have a huge surplus on us, and they can build out their entire, they can continue to build up an army, a military, a huge military, you know, whereas he was trying to imply we can't, right? And we need to make it fair. So I'm like, my feeling is like more so that he's stuck on that. Like after seeing his press conference, Trump, he, the one thing I do agree with you with, and I tell this to everybody, he's a New Yorker. He
Yeah,
got an ego. Like this man, like he doesn't get, like he has money. He's always had money. So this is not about money. This is about ego. This is about going out as the greatest president of all time.
correct.
He wants to deliver. Like let's keep it for what it is. I think he's delivered on a lot of things that he's campaigned on. I mean, like some people might say he hasn't, but I think he has. Um, do I like some of the things he's done? We can all say no. Like it's okay. You can say no,
Right.
even if you're a part of that party. But at the end of the day, it's his ego. You nailed it. It's his ego. But I also think like with this whole China thing, I think it might be about the military, about them not being able to build out a bigger military than the United States of America. Because he stated it. He's like, well, we'll bring in the revenue, right? We'll have that surplus as well. And hopefully we both won't have to reach into, our pockets to go ahead and use it to build out, a bigger military force. He said it. He said he's talked to him multiple times about this. So it's like, I think this is bigger than, what we are just seeing on the surface. I actually agree with that approach. I don't want China's, military to go ahead and outgrow the United States. And for obvious reasons, I'm an American. You don't want another. If you're a proud American, you don't want somebody else's military to be bigger than yours. And they're on their way.
And this is why I support the acquisition of Greenland, the acquisition of Mexico and Canada. Let's expand, baby. Let's grow, baby, grow. Every empire uh, must expand. Okay, there's four types of expansion. You got expansion of production, expansion of knowledge, expansion of population, expansion of geography. Every nation, every empire must expand in at least one to four of those categories, maybe two at the same time. I think America is expanding as far as AI technology is concerned because there is
Yeah.
a huge AI race that a lot of people are talking about right now, and that race is with China. Geographically, we want to grow. Population wise, we ain't doing too good, right? But we do need to grow, and we need to grow as far as production as well. So, um, when it comes to military, we can get a couple of military bases in, a military base in Greenland that gives us a nice vantage point. We got NORAD out there on the West Coast keeping an eye on things.
Yeah.
And maybe we get lucky, we get something in Taiwan. I don't know. I don't know. We got something in Guam,
Ooh, Taiwan. Ooh.
yeah, obviously it's a huge reach, but if Guam doesn't sink, um, I I what troubles me is when we talk military, that's the type of stuff that takes lives, So
Yeah.
I'm fearful of those conversations, but we gotta have them. We gotta have them, and the truth of the matter is that does play it. That's why I said, when this negotiation with China is so many factors, so many factors that are gonna come into play. But no, I mean, if you're an empire, you want to have the greatest military of all time. That's what everybody wants.
Why is the EU being so unfair? They don't let in American cars. Like I can testify to this. They like I'm just going to use one product. They
Mm.
don't let American cars in. If they do, the tariff is crazy. Uh, and then like they are right about the meat products. They don't let shit in there unless it passes like their standards, and their standards are very high for anything outside of their stuff. So it's kind of like, how does America do business? Until they go bankrupt. Yet we, federal aid, I mean, foreign aid is given out like crazy by the United States of America. Troops, protection, all this stuff. Yeah, we can't do business. But I want to say, like, I agree with you on that though. An empire has to expand. I'm
Yeah.
all for getting Greenland. I'm sure
Yeah.
they have natural resources that we also want as well, besides the nice
Oh yeah.
part of the military strategy that they have, probably conveying currently.
So
But how do we get we Canada and Mexico? Like, do we want Canada?
well,
Like,
well, well,
do we really want Canada?
yeah, yeah. Michael Malice says that for reparations for Black folks, what we should do is we should colonize Canada and give one Canadian to every Black family as a slave. And I thought that was a fantastic idea. So let's talk about Europe, okay? If I were a empire, I wouldn't want U.S. goods. I just, you know, uh, our standards are really low. I mean, there's so many acronyms for Ford, fix and repair daily, and the list goes on. Our, and I don't know if it's our culture. I know as far as food is concerned, it's our government. The FDA has
Yeah,
allowed way too much room for uh, just like the other day. I got excited because I went to the store and I saw a bottle of Coca Cola in its original case, and it was made with cane sugar and not high fructose corn syrup. And I was like, oh, wow. Usually I can only get this at the Hispanic spot, right?
yeah,
So it's just like, what happens in these government agencies that says, hey, we can put red 40 dye in
yeah,
children's cereal, right? Like, so if I were you, the Europe has a point. Like, first of all, everybody wants a German car, right? Bavarian Motor Works, right? Mercedes Benz. These are the luxury cars that Americans want. If not, we're buying Honda, right? We're buying Japanese vehicles, right? Um, so um, that like you check KBB, like do American cars rank high on the Consumer Reports?
depending what it is, depending, but it's a
Depending.
select few.
It's a
Depending,
right. It's a select
it,
few. Yeah. So,
obviously the Germans and the Japanese are going to rank higher, 100%.
but we need to learn from that, right? As a nation, right?
Correct.
Because if Europe is saying we don't want outside competition, let alone poor competition, then
Yeah,
America should learn from that and say, well, why are we importing their vehicles?
correct.
Right? Like, and that's where people shouldn't get their panties in a bunch when we see the tariffs go up, because it's like we're just doing what other nations is just an average Tuesday for them. Right.
Yeah.
So, but I see both sides of the coin, and these things are, as Thomas Sowell says, there are no solutions, only trade-offs in economics. So, it's a lot of tough decisions that need to be made.
It is sad when you look at, like, the tariff situation, opened my eyes to a lot of things. And my eyes, obviously, since the pandemic, I think everybody's eyes have been opened up to a lot of shit, right? Um, but, I look at America and I'm like, wow, we really don't produce shit here. Like, I'm like, I sat back and I try to think, like, okay, we have one or two things here and one or two things here, but like, we don't even produce the number two pencil here. And that's weird. That is bad. Like, w- I- who got paid off to put us, forget about who, how many people got paid off to put us in this kind of position? And also, you just mentioned food standards. You go over to Europe, same product, different ingredients, they'll never pass any of this shit that's being fed to the people of the United States of America.
Right.
That is that is terrible. what the United States of America, the people in certain positions have done to the American citizen. Horrible, terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, this comes back to people like Harry Dexter White, Maynard Keynes, uh, Bernie Sanders, AOC, Dr. Cornel West, socialists, right? This is socialism. America has been infected with way too much socialism. And I
Yeah,
spoke about this on Friday on the nightly recap. And much of this has to do with minimum wage. We've got to eliminate minimum wage laws. I don't know if you know the story of Thomas Sowell, but Thomas Sowell was a socialist. He started out as a socialist and he decided that it was not the way because he went and worked at the Bureau of Labor and Statistics, I want to say. Um, and he wanted to resolve the minimum wage issue. And he came up with some solutions. And when he came to the table, he quickly realized that these people didn't even want solutions. They're like, yo, get out of here. We're keeping what we got going on here. And he's like, but this doesn't, what you're doing doesn't work. And I found a better solution. And that's when he realized socialism was a scam. And that's when he became this, hard right. I wouldn't say hard right, but he became an economic conservative. But that's the issue. When we deal with China, what are China's minimum wage laws?
exactly.
Why do you think they are a manufacturing powerhouse? Now, when you look at, again, the Tokugawa Empire starts ramping up production after Portuguese and European influence. And what you saw was a population of people would go, they'd work in the manufacturing facilities. But the thing that they took home wasn't a lot of pay. They took home was experience.
Yeah.
And then they took that experience and created their own manufacturing facilities. If we had that type of economic outlook, wages in America would be balanced out, that we'd find some sort of harmony. And minimum wage wouldn't be a flat thing across all industries. We'd see a minimum wage here, there, that would fluctuate based upon experience, production output, demand, et cetera, et cetera. So we don't know what our production situation would look like because of price controls like a minimum wage. So in order to increase, for example, when people say, oh, they're going to work for slave wage, I'm like, well, that's not how that works. If we eliminated minimum wage, the guy would leave the company because he's not getting paid enough, start his own company and say, you know what, I'm going to pay my workers more. Then that other guy down the street is losing his workers. So he's got to up his wages to compete with the guy. Next thing you know, we have a competition of wages. And you'll find that people start getting paid a fair amount. And production would be at higher quality. There's a lot of cultural things that go into it too, but that's the TLDR version of why our quality of production and quantity of production is just dismal compared to the rest of the world.
I guess last question, because I know you have a show. By the way, the show 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the Griff Report. And if you're not tuned in, unfollow me immediately. You know how that goes down. Tune into the Griff Report. It's a great show. I tune in. I just don't say nothing. I'm scared of the crowd. Okay. I'm scared of them.
It's the wolves in that chat.
They're wild. I love them. They're wild. I gotta give them. Hey, listen. I gotta give them round of applause. They are wild. They are wild. But I respect that. Nobody holds back. I gotta tell you, nobody holds back. But I started. There was an episode that I forgot when you were doing this, but that reporter that went into the streets. She was interviewing
in New York.
Yeah, in New York. She was interviewing somebody.
Yeah.
Yo, hold on. I was laughing so hard at your commentary because she, I can't even. I'm telling you, yo, I had tears in my eyes when when you were breaking it down.
What did
You
I
know, yo,
say?
I should have got. I was howling. Yo, I was howling in my fucking office, man. I couldn't even get on a phone call, man, because I was laughing. I was like, "Oh my goodness, yo!" And she got and you were doing like boxing analogy, bro. You were like Teddy Atlas, and like breaking it down how she swung, and why is she's faking, look, she's not even, she's trying. She's trying too hard here. She's in the cab recording herself. Yeah, yeah, but then you were like, oh shit, she got knotted up on that brow though. That brow got hit on that brow. Yo, she was big. That was the one. That was the one that was catching me and making me laugh. You kept on saying that she kept on saying she was big and stuff like that. So the way you were saying it, yo, I was dead, bro. And the comments in the room,
Oh,
oh my god, they are savages, bro.
brutal.
Yo,
Brutal.
if I thought you were funny, yo, they took it to new levels, bro. They were on a new. There was on some new. That there's a song. I ain't gonna sing it. I ain't gonna sing it. There's a song. Um,
The
but
chat is the chat is the entertainment. I'm telling you.
man, you were doing the instant replays though. You were doing slow motion and stuff. You were analyzing the shot and how it came in. Like watch, it comes in right here. And you're just like, I felt like I was watching ESPN boxing. Or it was like ESPN slap box, whatever like they have. That's power slap and
Power
shit.
slap.
Yeah.
That shit was
She caught
crazy.
her good
Yo.
though. I ain't gonna front, man. She waited too. She waited for her to talk again, kind of thing. And she went, "Bow, hey, like me
Yeah.
now."
Yeah.
But
Yeah. I say
I guess
it's occupational hazard.
I guess more of that in the future, where like we're all laughing and reporting on some like funny shit, and obviously reporting on the economy being great, versus where we are today, where I have to tell family members to calm down. We'll all be all right. Yeah, you said vote for Trump. Yeah, because look what we have over there now. Have you heard Tim Walz and Kamala speak lately? I mean, it's not that much better, man. We didn't really. Let me keep my mouth shut. But hey, hopefully everything works out with Trump. Like you said, you don't vote, but that's okay. You bought a MAGA hat,
Yep.
so that should tell everybody. Tune into Hotep. Okay, Hotep Jesus. Go buy his Apex. I'm telling you, you guys need it. Also, catch him. I don't know. Next time he's on Fox, of course, we'll go ahead and retweet it. Dude, you had us laughing with the Biden thing.
Thank you,
You had
man.
us laughing with the Biden thing, bro.
Shout out to Gutfeld. Yeah, hell yeah.
So, oh
Great
my
time
God,
all the
that's
time
so
over
good.
there.
I will never mispronounce his name ever again. But Gutfeld, that dude, good for him. He puts people on. I like seeing that, man. You can appreciate somebody like that. Doesn't
Yep.
have to do it. You put somebody on like that. That's dope. Much success. Love to have you a part of G Media. So does the entire audience. They love you, man.
Thank
They
you.
love you. They're always like, "What is Hotep coming through?" And they don't care about me no more. They're like, "Fuck Gockstein. Bring on Friday. Bring Friday on. Okay?
Let's go.
Bring the waitress and bring Hotep on. Okay? Bring the Selena lookalike on."
That's what's up. That's what's up. Shout out to the chat. I love you, chat. Hey, chat, we just getting started over here at G Media. Many, many decades to come. Building an empire over here.
We got a lot cooking. And like he said with empires, it's slowly you start taking shit over. I appreciate you, man. I really do. Hall of Famer, the GOAT, Hotep Jesus. Catch him right now, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Yes, sir.
On Kick, because I'm off in 5 minutes, so you better go to him in 5 minutes. That's right. Thanks a lot, man. That was Jesus. That was Jesus, man. Welcome to the breakdown. Episode 5. It's really 5:45. It's actually 5:45. I made the mistake. Okay. I made the mistake. I'll own up to the mistake. Okay. We got to watch this, though, because I was told that I was lying. And I don't like being told I was lying. So hold on one second. Hold on just 1 second for me. Okay? 1 second, 1 second. Do me a favor and hold on 1 second. Hold your horses for 1 second. Uno minuto. Uno minuto. Is that the fuck did I just say? Uno momento, right? That's how you fucking say it. Un momento. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. Just hold on. I'm trying to get this through. Hold on. I like my goldfish. Dun, 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 dun. Like my. All right. Let's do this. Hold on. I'm trying. All right. Hold on. Hold on. Where the fuck is the button? Where the fuck is the share button, man? I love Hotep Jesus, man. Oh, Hotep is fucking hilarious, bro. He is hilarious. But he's knowledgeable about all this shit, man. He is very knowledgeable. All right, listen. I don't want to hear it, man. Look at this shit. Look at this shit. What does it say? What does it say?
C'était la gaieté Paris.
Oh yeah, 24 hours in the city of light. So we got in yesterday and obviously we went for food and drinks. And when I say drinks, I mean really fancy drinks. Check these bathrooms.
User one. Only one person peeing. What does it do? Oh, okay.
No reaction.
Either I had too much hot wine or this remote.
What does that say?
Work.
Ladies and gentlemen, what does that say?
So we got in yesterday and obviously we went for food and drinks. We're on the terrace. We're gonna eat our dinner here. Now, as we ordered, the waiter was like, "Are you sure you're gonna eat here?" And you know what? We're Canadian. No problem. We got this. Freaking heaters. These heaters, honestly, perfect temperature. Are you cold?
No, I'm actually hot.
Where's the pigeon part? Where's the pigeon part?
So this is how you eat in a chateau. It's kind of tricky. No, I got it.
You can't even eat the goddamn
Look at this
food.
nail.
Food, you can't even eat it.
Oh.
That does not look enjoyable. That does not look enjoyable at all.
I ate and licked everything. The waiter was impressed.
He said I can't go anywhere with you because then I won't eat.
Fact. But then, you have a double chin. You don't need to eat. I was starving and it was delicious. Just butter and garlic.
Where's the pigeon, bro?
J'entends des chansons.
So freaking addictive.
De Paris n'importe.
Oh, I gotta find where the pigeon part is.
J'entends des chansons.
Our biggest objective is to buy a second luggage so we can ship all our stuff to Canada.
Hold on. Look, there's the pigeons. All right, Fran's got croissants. Hey, we got croissants here. Wine.
Oh, it's a garbage.
That's quite ingenious. And then it's gonna disappear and bye-bye garbage. Behind the garbage bag, that's the Michelin star restaurant. but we're actually going to their little sister brother right there. A little bite just before our concert. Tonight we're doing some very proper adulting. We're going to a concert at the Théâtre des Champs-Élysées, the Chamber Orchestra of Paris. No, very proper.
De Paris n'importe où.
Wow, that's perfect.
En chantant des chansons.
Pigeon! It's pigeon! It's pigeon!
En
Look
chantant
at this
des
shit!
chansons.
She's eating pigeon! Look at this! What the fuck is it? She's eating a pigeon! That is disgusting! That is disgusting! I told you! I told all of you! This is nasty shit! Okay? You didn't believe me when I was hosting the show this morning. I said they eat pigeons. They got pigeons on the menu. That's a goddamn pigeon. They go run around in the streets picking up pigeons. These are pigeons from a goddamn park. Okay? That is disgusting. That is nasty. I don't give a shit. That is nasty ass shit. I would never eat a goddamn pigeon. Have you ever seen a pigeon take a shit on a car? And if you didn't wipe that shit off your car, your goddamn paint comes off the car? That's the pigeon that you're eating with that toxic shit inside of it. It's some nasty shit. And not one person wanted to have my side today. I'm retweeting this motherfucker. I'm retweeting this. I didn't want to start beef. Okay? I didn't want to start beef. If you look through YouTube, okay? If you go onto YouTube and you look, you got a bunch of people that are eating pigeons. And it is all done in France. Okay? It's not done in America. You don't see anybody walking into America asking for a plate of pigeon. I'm sorry. I don't hang out with those kind of people. Okay? I've never walked in or I went to a restaurant and said, "Hey, hit me with the pigeon." What's your meal? What's the meal of the night? Pigeon. Get the. You know what? We have a lot of pigeons here. We got a lot of pigeons in the United States of America. So now France, okay, since you love pigeons, a part of the tariffs, you're going to have to import our pigeons. That's right. You're going to have to import our pigeons. There you go. I don't even think the Trump administration has thought about that. They need to be buying out pigeons. They need to be buying out pigeons. Here we go. We got a surplus of pigeons. And what works out in our favor is that we get the pigeons to stop shitting on our cars. And all the French people, you can eat all the pigeons you want. We got a whole field of magical pigeons. Okay? We got a whole field of magical pigeons. I'm just happy that I went ahead and I proved my case because today, when I was doing the radio show and I said that because there was a French person that came in and I said, you eat pigeons. And they said, no, we don't do that. Well, guess what? Look at the menus. Look at the 5-star Michelin menus. You know what they got? They're serving pigeons. And you know what you're going to do? You're going to buy pigeons from us. From now on, you're buying our pigeons. We got a surplus of pigeons. That's what we got. A surplus of pigeons. Yo, lamb chop. What the hell are you talking about? Pigeon leg with pigeon soup. What is happening here? Anyway, I'm going to calm down. I will calm down. I got to calm down. I got to calm down. I got to calm down. Pigeons. 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 I wasn't kidding about the pigeons. That's disgusting, man. That is disgusting. Pigeons. Anyway. Should we bring on Landy for 5 minutes? Or we should do that tomorrow. Maybe we'll bring on Landy tomorrow to report on the markets. Maybe we'll go ahead and do that. That's disgusting. If you eat pigeons, unfollow me. That is just weird. I'm sorry, man. I am sorry. That is crazy, man. How do you eat pigeons? How the fuck you eat pigeons? Eating pigeons. Anyway, Landy says he's in the sky, but we'll bring him on tomorrow and we'll talk about the markets. Today, I coined the phrase pause in the markets. Pause, a pause in the markets. Okay? I just have a different way of looking at the markets right now because this happens to be the first cycle that has been very interesting, obviously because we have institutional players here. Let me stop this. This is disgusting. I can't. Fuck, I got to take that off the screen. But obviously this kind of like the first time we're experiencing institutions here, like meaning like they've announced that they're here and now we know they're playing here. And we're playing like now with Trump, with the tariffs out, most of these liberals, 90% of Wall Street is made up of Democrats who voted for Kamala Harris. So what do you think they're doing? They're shorting the market. So it's interesting to watch everything happen. It is very interesting to watch how all this plays out. That's why I keep on saying this. For me, there's this pause in the market. I do recognize that there are things down in certain sectors in this market, but I do not believe that we are not still in a bull market. And I think we have many months to go. And I think we'll actually have I think we'll have a much more powerful market as we get out of the tariffs and the agreements are written and everybody sings kumbaya together and everybody's happy. I think the first thing that's going to happen, and I'm going to make a prediction. The first thing that's going to happen, the meme economy, besides Bitcoin, we already know about Bitcoin, but besides Bitcoin, I have a feeling the meme economy is going to go parabolic. It's going to go insane. It is going to be the gateway to get into crypto because people are going to want to get into crypto. They're going to have money to get into crypto. And the first thing they're going to look at is memes because memes are relatable. Okay? Memes are extremely relatable. And I fully believe that the conviction plays that I'm in terms of memes, they're going to go parabolic. Okay? They're going to go out of this fucking world. That's how much I believe in these memes. And then ultimately, they will lead people into Bitcoin. That's bottom line. Ultimately, it will lead everybody into Bitcoin. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the breakdown, episode 545, even though it says 544, it is really 545, sponsored by Gemini, America's Exchange. That's right, America's Exchange. Trade $1,000 in crypto, get $100 in Bitcoin, and shout out to the Gangshi News Network. 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I am live by myself, nightly recap as we recap all the news of the day. We'll go ahead and recap a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of news today. Also, tune into all our shows right now. Hotep, Jesus, he's live. The Griff Report is live. Go tune in. Also on X Spaces, you got the Money Maxis, Jules. You got Jules. You got Soka. You also got Empress as a co-host, as well as 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You have Julie Kennis on YouTube. She is breaking down crypto news, and I will be co-hosting with Sakasa. It's something about memes, the meme wars, I think. I think that's what or meme art, some shit where people, it's a meme contest. It's going to be great. It's going to make America great again. On that note, I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the network. Thank you for supporting the G Media Network. More media personalities coming. A lot more things are happening. I can't wait to go ahead and talk about them. Shout outs to everybody who's been super supportive of this brand. And on that note, I'm out.